This is Clutch Plays, presented by AimLab, the official partners of any challenges. I'm your host, DDK. This time on Clutch Plays, we'll hear what the pros themselves have to say about clutching at the highest level. First up, we have MkaeL, as he runs us through his 1v4 on Icebox.
Walking as much as I can behind the Viper wall, using it to my advantage, and always trying to figure out new ways to pick people and isolate fights. And I think that's just literally that, perfectly. Every fight I got was 1v1s, and I lowered the time down, and then they had pressure to plant the bomb, and I think that gave me the opportunity to keep isolating fights and just win my 1v1s. What was going through my mind that round is when he put up the wall, I think I was trying to cross, but obviously I got seen before, and I remember my teammate called that Raze was low. That's why I pulled out my shotgun and tried to kill her, because I knew she was running towards the left. And then I got her kill, so I knew I could go around sight. And then I saw the Sage jump across trying to plant the bomb, and then I got a free kill. And I knew Viper was close to Raze, so I just went back around sight and killed her for free too.
Next, we have the man himself, DAPR from Sentinels, running us through 2 clutches from Challenger 2 finals.
So the first clip, I'm in a 1v3 and bomb was down. This one was pretty easy, honestly, because I knew where all 3 of them were. One broke my tripwire on the flank, so I knew that guy was flank, and I knew the other 2 were CT from the utility. I had a cam in garage, so I knew garage was clean, so I knew the 2 CT guys were staying CT, they weren't running to garage. And the guy flank, I would say made a mistake just by over peeking. Ideally, I'm sure after they're just like, wait, why'd you die? But he gave me the fight long C, and he had to give me that fight or I would have been cornered. I knew the last 2 were CT, and how I usually do it is I just do it off sound cues, so you could see me trying to go close to the box to try to isolate a fight. And the first guy ran out. As soon as this guy got really close to me on the sound, I swung, killed him. I knew the other guy was going to trade. As soon as I was able to get behind cover, I knew the round was pretty easy from then on out. I jiggle peek and make sure he wasn't pushing up on me. Yeah, I just kind of broke his ankles. You know, I just kept jiggling. It's kind of hard to get really good at jiggling and understanding where your model is. So if you want to be really good at clutching, I'd probably try to practice understanding where your player model is and knowing what he sees as well. That's really important. You know, minimize how much damage you'll take if you jiggle or trying to bait out a shot, really depending on what you want to do. So yeah, I just kept running around. When he mugged me, I did a fake shoot and swung the other side, you know, try to bait him out. Yeah, he kind of fell for everything I did, so it looked pretty genius, but for the most part, it was pretty risky, most of the plays I did, but that's it. It's just risk first reward. You know, to win these clutches, you gotta take some risk. You'll never win big rounds if you don't take risks, so. The second clip is a 1v2 that was a 4v2 with me and Zoms, but Zoms got 2. This one was actually probably the easiest just because the fights were very isolated just from the time crunch. They had to get bombed down. So I just killed the Sage, jiggling him. It's a really hard fight for that guy. It's not really his fault. And the other guy knew he was behind screens. And what I did here, I don't necessarily do often, but I actually threw my tripwire to see if he'd shoot it. And usually, most time they actually won't shoot it, but he actually shot it. So I just hid, wait for him to peek, because I thought he'd peek the same side he did. And yeah, I just swung on him after his crosshair is probably wacky from shooting the trip. I wouldn't necessarily say this is a good play. I probably wouldn't recommend this play. I only did it to kind of throw him off his rhythm. That's some things I kind of like doing now that I'm just in these clutches so often. Usually listening to your gut instinct in clutches is the best way, and even if you mess up your gut instinct, it'll kind of steer you the right way. It'll just gradually get better when you keep listening to it. But if you always throw it off, you always throw it to the wayside and you always just try to think about in the moment, I don't think it's the best way. I think thinking too much and it's leading to overthinking in clutches, and you just kind of beat yourself sometimes. So listen to your gut, boys.
Lastly, we have Boy from Anbox guiding us through this tense 1v3 against TSM.
Oh man, my reaction to watching my 1 versus 3 against TSM was absolutely bonkers. So I flashed the box, I blinded him, I teleported in to cut the space. Nobody was fighting me, and I immediately knew that they were out of the bomb site, and we were able to get into the post-plant situation. I'm in a really good spot to take fights, and I had a good read that if the Opera was here, there's going to be a rifler with them, and I think the best way that they could have played it was the Opera will just run in first to try to find them. The Opera was there, and then I hear somebody running at me. I peeked early to kind of pre-fire in a way, because he's gonna hard clear me no matter what, and I want to make sure that I can match the peeker's advantage, you know, because peeker's advantage is kind of insane, and the best way to do it is to kind of off angle yourself, but you don't want to allow him to hard clear you, because in that way you force him to readjust his crosshair. So that's what happens with Cutler, you know, I swing out, I kill him, and then It was just by coincidence that I barely heard hazed, and the moment I heard hazed, I knew that he was just gonna fight me first. I think that's where they messed up, but what was going through my head is the moment I killed him, I knew the opera had to be two different things. He had to be really close on me already, or he's gonna wait for me to make the mistake, you know, over peek him. After I kill Haze, I do like a little bait shot, the kind of bait that I'm obviously ready for you, you know. So I do the one jiggle to kind of identify if he's actually pushed on me or not. Off that one jiggle, I knew immediately he wasn't pushed. So I waited like not even like half a second. I didn't do like an instant rejiggle because I knew that he was just posted on me, and there's a really high chance that he was going to just pre-fire my next jiggle peek. And so if I don't take this fight right now like I just did with Cutler, I'm going to die. And after he takes that shot, I knew immediately that his teammates called that I was 1 HP for him to even go for that shot. So just that like that 1 second or not even half a second, a delay of jiggle peeking won me the clutch right there. That's like the theory, that's like the in and out of how it played out that 1v3.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, for crisp, clean flicks and buttery smooth tracking like the pros, check out AimLab. It's free on Steam. Happy headshots, and see you next time.